like the idea of the federal banking system, where I can wrap my mind around the stuff that's not so difficult to look at as a conspiracy theory. Like some of the conspiracy theory things, it gets tough. It gets tough to argue some of the things because you end up being like so. You go, damn, I gotta explain that. But like, I'm getting into the banking system. I'm getting to the idea. Look, the Bilderberg Group exists. It's not a fictional thing. So I move away from saying the Illuminati and go New World Order, like you said. That's what they say. And Bilderberg Group.
Well, actually, the Bilderberg today,
using these things, the G20, the globalization, the this and the that. And then you got this new thing where somebody's saying the Clinton, overpopulation is a problem. And see, to not leave the conspiracy part of it and go to the actual balls for somebody who's alive to make a statement that there's too many people living.
And then they're an administration person
to even hear.
Yeah. But they make it all the time. That's the crazy thing. That is what really worries about me. It worries me that they're saying, "Oh, we have to have a sustainable population." Then you find out that they introduced HIV through Factor 8 in this country, and then when they found out it was in the Factor 8 here, they just moved it to Europe and all these other countries. You find out that even in the 50s, when they gave people polio vaccines, they injected them with SV40, which is simian virus 40. It causes cancer. It's unbelievable. Right. Then I think it was, a month and a half ago, we find out that they have two separate types of bird flu in the bird flu vaccine and another type of flu. It's really outlandish. And then you listen to them talking, they're like, oh, we need a sustainable population. You read their papers, they want to have a carbon tax. A lot of this rhetoric out of the G20 is that they're going to have they're going to come out of it green. They're going to demonize all these things. I kid you not, there are articles out in the UK right now that are saying that Americans' use of toilet paper pollutes the planet more than SUVs. So that's going to be regulated, apparently. I mean, I can't imagine I'm not going to be able to wipe my ass, but apparently I'm not. And then you mentioned the Bilderberg Group. It came out today. The former chair, I forget what it is, Etienne Davion, this big power guy, he admitted that the euro, which is the European currency, it promotes globalism, came out of the Bilderberg Group in the 90s. I mean, this isn't even really a shadow organization anymore. They have to print who goes. They obviously had Hillary Clinton and Obama meet there this year in secret, but they printed 144 names, everybody from Bernanke to Condoleezza Rice. I mean, it's unbelievable. We'll be back with Patrice O'Neill after this. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com. We're back. It's April 2nd, 2009. And, to some extent, I think it is the ignorant masses' fault. I mean, we don't even know what the three branches of government are in this country. Most people are so dumbed down, they can't tell you who the vice president is. And that is a huge problem. But at the same time, I think, when you said something like, who's to blame? Is it Hitler or the German Wehrmacht? Well, Hitler kind of plays the same role that Obama's supposed to play. He's an orator. He's a speech reader. He's not really the power structure, I mean, he was brought up through the Thule Society and these other, organizations and then funded, quite frankly, from the Bush family and others. Back in the day, I mean, Prescott Bush was one of the biggest Nazi money launderers out there. And then after the war, we brought in a bunch of those Nazis through Project Paperclip, so it's almost
look at this though. Let's keep it simple. If Obama says kill that man right there because I said so, his charisma, I don't think his charisma should be faulted there. I think you should be at fault when somebody charismatic says, drink the Kool-Aid, man. Hey, here, drink this poison Kool-Aid, or go and do something really foul and to this person over here, and and you do it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it'll be incremental,
being
though.
Dumb or being ignorant. It's just, why would anybody just blindly do what they're told to do? And when they have a choice,
Happens all the time in history, though.
Happens all the time. The choice.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying we don't have free will. I mean, that's what humanity is based on, and hopefully we'll always have free will. But the bottom line is, it never starts as let's go shoot that guy in the head. It starts at join my youth brigade, and they just passed that GIVE Act. I haven't been able to read the full thing, the one that would pass through the House and the Senate. There's 6 versions of the bill. These all come out of think tanks. I actually just went back there and checked out the latest version. It looks like we actually had a couple of victories. It looks like they took out 1710, which was the citizen identification, the Electronic Identification Act, and they were going to use the Department of Education and little kids to have basically a real ID for everybody. You'd all have to swipe a card, and they were going to implement it in 18 months. I didn't see that in the final one. So there's a victory. I mean, if we do vocalize things like the MIAC report got out there, people had to make apologies. We can have a difference.
Let me ask you this. You were saying that you said the thing about the polio vaccine, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how AIDS is spread and everything like that. What is it by the way it's being communicated that people just go, so what, to the idea that AIDS is being spread in this way, that is an actual created disease?
Sure.
Where you go, where people are not open. Is it just, you think this because people just can't believe that governments and things like that? And I sneak this in here too, and I was talking about it on stage the other day, is that, it's strange. It seems like America, maybe Canada, a few other countries, but America is really the only place that we're able to actually try to figure out whether there's a conspiracy or not. Some of these other countries, there's no question what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at China, what they do, they don't hide it. They're going to run you over with a tank.
Well, they hide with little, Patrice. Well, I hear you there.
Throw your kid out the window. They're going to put you in a jail and sell your organs, and they're not hiding it.
But most people don't know that. Listen, they just banned YouTube there, so most people don't get to see that. That's what I mean. It's very controlled. And then the AIDS thing, right? This is how I own people on AIDS. I don't know if you know this, but there's a doctor out there named David Ho. You ever hear of him?
No.
Time Man of the Year 1996, cover of Time magazine, he cured AIDS. That is the God's honest truth. I remember reading about it in high school and thinking to myself, why hasn't this gotten bigger? And basically, the article relates protease inhibitors, which they could give to everybody, but they choose not to. And back in the day, in the late 90s, it cost about $80,000 a year. And you took these cocktails, and they still have these cocktails in shorter doses. You have to do it every 6 hours. And people would talk how they had to set their alarms and everything else. This is pretty much what they put Magic Johnson on many, many years ago. Now it's gotten even more advanced. Now we never talk about that because this is really a eugenics program, mostly for third world nations, Africa in particular, for these people to die. For instance, when they give them AZT, AZT kills your immune system. Yeah, it kills all the autoimmune deficiency, but it kills your immune system as well. You die from it. So it's basically a way to make people who would live till they were 50, 60, 70, 80 years old to live till they're 25 and 30 years old. And no matter how many of these programs they put out, I mean, you look at cancer, all this cancer research, all the money we throw at it, we're still radiating people, we're still not curing anything. The population still explodes. We were 6 billion 5 years ago.
That's really one of the big, like if I had to say, out of anything where your mind gets opened up to a lot of stuff, and the big plan is population. The fact that if I asked Alex when I was on his show, like what would be the curriculum, the three major points that you would say.
We're going to go over that on the other side, Patrice. The 3 major points on how to educate people about the quote unquote New World Order. PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com. All right, folks, we are back, and I want to let people know I'm going to be hosting the Alex Jones Show tomorrow as he takes a day off. We're going to lead in with that Anderson Cooper New World Order story tomorrow. But what if we were teaching New World Order 101? What 3 subjects would I use? Well, these are the 3 main modus operandi of these guys, and these are the ones that really have to be explained, I think, to people in detail. Number 1, false flag terror. You see it again and again to catalyze a populace to hate another people, to really bring out the tribalism, the jingoism, the nationalism in folks. 2, eugenics. Eugenics, population control, keeping people dumbed down, fluoride in the water, that sort of thing. 3rd one, monetary system. How to keep people in perpetual debt without knowing that they really have a fiat currency that's equal to nothing as they take your home, lower your wages at your job, lower your benefits, all those things. So those are the 3 main things. Now, the sub things that keep those all into play that I think people need to learn about are the think tanks that are in place, like such as the CFR. That's one of the main ones. PNAC, of course, is out there. There's a bunch of these things. This is where all the legislation comes from. It rarely comes from a congressman or a senator. So these think tanks and these foundations, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Carnegie Foundation, all these things, Rhodes Scholars, they all put these papers.
Let me ask you this real quick, though, Jason. Why? Okay. Let me play just basic, advocate.
Sure, devil's advocate. You got
it. Why are we, meaning like say America, England, Europe, why are our think tanks and our leaders so secret, so covert? And like, let's say China and Afghanistan and Iran, they just say shut up, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do to you. We're gonna have honor killings. Women are gonna go walk around with the band-aids on their face so you can't see the eyes. Men can do, we're gonna launch rockets. You're gonna do what you're told, and we're gonna chop your face off. Like, why are we jerking around and tiptoeing and doing all this sneaky stuff?